Hi, my name is Marta.
Hi, Marta.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. And what is your name?
My name is Sarah Morris.
Nice to meet you, Sarah. It's a pleasure getting to talk with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me in today.
What brings you in today?
Well, I wanted to talk about a few things. To start out, I've been having a little bit of a problem with my boyfriend. We have not been as sexually intimate as I would want, and I do think that there is an underlying issue, but I'm not positive. I just know that as a child something did happen, and it was traumatizing, and so I just don't know if the two are connected, and I would like to get to the bottom of it somehow, because I definitely do want to have sex with him, but I find myself getting scared and getting kind of clamped up and not really wanting to do it or being in the mood.
Well, I appreciate you explaining all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to let you know a couple of things. That whatever that I abide by confidentiality, and whatever is said in this room stays in this room.
Thank you.
And if there's anything if you are currently being harmed or experiencing anything, I will have to report that.
I do understand.
But I just want to let you know that that we are here to help you, and whatever you speak about today is that we will do our best, and we're here to listen to you.
Awesome.
And
thank you so much.
yeah, you're so welcome. So I recall that you talked about so you had a problem with your boyfriend,
Yes.
and you said it was something about your relationship. And can you go more into depth about what you were experiencing?
I don't know if it's our relationship, but there could be parts of it. Sometimes I feel like we're not really on the same page. We're wanting different things at different times, and I think that sometimes the communication just can get kind of fuddled a little bit. But I do just want to be more intimate with him, but I'm not feeling like I'm able to at the moment.
Be intimate, okay? All right, and you're having relationship.
And we've been together for a while, and things have been better before, so I know that there's definitely a spark there, but I don't want it to go away, and I do love him very much, so I just want to make sure we can find out and figure out how to keep that going.
What differences do you guys
have
difference since now?
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys...
I would say that we fight more, but I think that's probably normal. We definitely fight more than we used to when we first started dating. But like I said, I mean, I think that's with all couples. And
for sure.
I do think that we have sex less, but that's definitely normal too. When we live together now, we didn't live together when we first started dating, so that's definitely different. We do have to figure out how to do chores and who does what, and sometimes that can turn into fights, but I do just want to make sure that we can work it all out, because I do want to be with him.
What made you guys decide to live together?
We were both ready to move out of our parents' houses, and we definitely wanted to take the next step with each other, and we thought that moving into an apartment would give us both of those, and it definitely has. I do really like living in an apartment with him, and I think that's really fun, but I don't like the negative fights that we have, because when we fight, it tends to be huge blowout fights.
Like, for example, you don't have to go into depth of like what you fight about, but like what difference, like what struggles do you guys like face, like with fights? Like, is it just like transportation issues, or food? Like, I want this food, I want this, like what?
Right. Well, we did have some issues about transportation pretty recently, and I think there was a misunderstanding. I think one of us thought that the other was taking advantage a little bit, and I definitely don't think that was the case. I think that was misunderstood, and it definitely left me feeling hurt, because he thought that I was trying to use him basically for rides, and that is not what I felt at all, and that's not what I want to do. And it really hurt me, because he was almost making it sound like I was being a burden to him, and I do not want to be a burden to my partner, and I just was very offended by that.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Did you guys have transportation issues before you guys lived together?
We did not. This is definitely something that's just now formed because we live together. And it's not even like I ask him too much or anything. I think that he just thinks that I ask him to. I'm not really sure. It's probably a combination of both of us, but there definitely was a fight recently that could have been avoided, that I would like us to learn how to not get into those fights in the first place.
Okay. And have you guys thought about like different ideas like of what you could do? Like, so do you guys each have your own cars, first of all?
Yes, we do. We both have our own car, and we both are easily capable to pay for gas, and I don't think that it even should be an issue, but unfortunately here we are with the issue. So yeah, I'm not really sure how we can go about fixing it. I just think that we should try to avoid it and not. I hope that it won't become an issue in the future, but I'm just gonna try not to ask him for as many rides, I guess. I didn't think that I was asking too much before, but apparently he felt that way, so I'm gonna try to meet him halfway.
And you live on campus, correct?
We don't. We live off. So we live in Greenfield, which is 30 minutes away from campus. So today, for example, he did need to give me a ride because my car was here because I went home. But he thought that was pretty ridiculous that I was asking because my friend was already supposed to take me. And he does not like change at all. And I think that I don't know, I don't want to make excuses for him because I don't think that he's in the right. But necessarily, I don't think I'm in the right either. But I think that it definitely could have been handled differently and definitely could have been handled better. And I want us to both be able to learn how to do that without getting in the fights.
Did you feel like he was taking advantage of you, or that you were taking advantage of him?
Yeah, he thought I was being the one taking advantage of him. And I did not think that at all. And my feelings were definitely hurt because he just made it seem like I was a burden to him and that, he didn't want to help me out if I needed a ride or something, which I feel like with a partner, that's what it should be. They should be willing to help out and be willing to, if I need a ride, be willing to give me a ride. And I've offered to pay for gas for him, and I offered to even take an Uber. Like, I gave him all these options, and he still told me that he didn't mind taking me to class. So I just don't think that he really has a right to be mad at me about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's definitely hard, especially in those situations, especially with having to try to figure, especially since you have to go to important places.
Right.
It's important to balance it out. And
right.
You both are valuable, you both are important, and I believe that it's important that be equal about it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
And I know you both have busy lives.
We do, and that might be another reason why we haven't really been as sexually active, because I'm a lot busier than he is actually, but he still does, some. He's not working at the moment. He did have a full-time job, and that really took all of his time and all of his effort, and he was really stressed out. And now that he doesn't have a job, like, he's been at home more, and I almost feel like he doesn't feel this way at all. Like, he doesn't think that he's being lazy, or he doesn't feel like it's too much, or that he's not doing enough. But I don't know, I just feel like he's losing motivation, and it's hard for me to watch it when I have such big goals and I work really hard, and I just feel like I'm working harder than he is at some points. So I don't know, but I still love him and I want to be with him, but I just want a few things to be better in our relationship.
Yeah, you said to go back, you said that he doesn't have a job.
He doesn't have a job right now. He does like a little bit of work for his grandparents.
Stressful.
Yes, it has been. Yeah, it's been stressful, and it's definitely like, I want him to get a job, but then there's a part of me that's selfish, and I enjoy having him home a lot. And but there's things that we fight about that we probably shouldn't fight about, and it's just part of it is probably because he's home so much and that he doesn't have a job, and his time and energy has only been put one place rather than put multiple places that he could.
For sure.
So, yeah.
For sure. Do you guys like to sit down and chat like about differences with each other, like what you could fix and like improvements?
Yeah, we actually do try. That's a good point. We do try to be really open and communicate. That's always something that we've tried to do as a couple, because we know that bad communication will just be the death of a relationship. But sometimes we just do not see eye to eye, and it's definitely hard. I mean, living with somebody is not easy, especially if you're in a relationship and you're not married, so it could be different. But I do think that there's potential, and I do want to marry him, but if there are things that can't be fixed, then I definitely think that I'll have to find someone else, because I think I'm important, and I think that I need to, you know, have certain things that I think that, well, you know, a way a woman should be treated, and if I'm not getting that, I know there's someone else that'll probably treat me that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How often do you guys talk about marriage? Because I think that could be a big factor within relationships. When you talk about, when couples will talk about marriage too quickly, it can cause that, the split.
Yeah.
And so I was just wondering, like, how often do you guys talk about marriage? And when did you
Yeah.
guys, like, start talking about it? If that
Well,
played a big factor in, like, how you guys are doing.
Yeah, we actually have, like, always talked about it. Like, even pretty soon on when we started dating, we always were, like, kind of jokey about it. And we both do. He says that he does. There's not a ring on my finger, so, you know, it's not happened yet. But he has always talked about how he wants to propose to me, and that he does want to marry me. He talks about wanting to have a house all the time, and I've told him that I don't want to have a house unless we are engaged or married. So there are things that need to be done before that, and we do talk about it pretty frequently. We talk about having a house almost all the time, pretty much daily, or maybe every other, or some, you know, something like that. But so there's definitely potential, and we really enjoy each other's company. We laugh all the time. Like, he's one of my best friends, and I love him so much, but I don't want to have what I want compromised and the things that I need compromised.
Do you think, thank you for sharing that. Do you think the struggles that you guys are having right now, like the situations that you guys are experiencing now, do you think that would affect, like, would that change, like, when you guys get married? Do you think it would have changed, or do you think has it been long term?
I don't know. You know, it's different for me because the term for marriage, like, I'm not a very religious person, so it doesn't have any religious meaning to me. And it's I grew up with my parents divorced, so, like, I've only seen it fail, kind of, in a way. Like, they did get remarried, but it's not something that I do want to get married, and it's almost like I would be doing it for him and for his family, because I think that us living together and being this way is the same as being married. Like, it's the only thing married does is put a legal contract to it, you know? So to me, it's not like a matter of saying, I love you so much, I want to do this and spend the rest of my life with you. It might just be more of, like, confirming it and doing it for his family and friends and for my family as well. And I mean, I do want it too. It's just marriage isn't something that's, like, so important to me, because I feel like I already have it. It's like just putting a title to it is kind of the way I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do your parents get along with your boyfriend?
They actually really like him. My family does really, really like him, and we have broken up once before, and they took it well, and they said, you know, whatever, they wanted the best for me, but they were happy when we got back together, because they do like him a lot, and I do respect my family's opinion of him a lot. And so I do think that there's a potential, or else my family would definitely let me know that they didn't like him and that they thought that I would be better with somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So going back to what you guys talked about, like some of your struggles, just like with transportation issues.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you guys are struggling with in your relationship?
You know, I do think that sometimes we just misunderstand each other and miscommunicate, and we try to have good, positive communication rules and values, and I think that we do, but when we fight, sometimes it has never gotten physical, but he's like thrown things, not at me, but like at the ground, or I've like knocked over a chair or things like that I definitely, if we had kids, would not want to do in front of kids, because I think that's really bad to teach them that. And I want to be better. I want both of us to be better, and I want to have better ways of handling it.
Yes, for sure. And how often do you guys fight?
We probably have a huge blowout like that maybe once a week. And I don't know if that's a lot, like, according to other couples. I mean, it isn't too bad. I would say our once a week blowout is like a huge screaming fight. But, like, all the other times, sometimes we'll just, like, bicker back and forth like kind of an old married couple. But other than that, like, there are ways that I think that we can handle our stress and anger better. And I don't want to take it out on each other. And we sometimes do that, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for going in depth with all this.
You're welcome.
And I would say definitely talk to each other about the differences and like what you guys are struggling with,
I will,
and definitely
yeah.
just sit down and like just marinate on that, and that might help.
Okay,
So
thank
you
you.
so much for meeting
Yeah,
with me
thank you for
and
talking
listening.
to me today.
And you're definitely important. You both are
Thank
important.
you.
It's good to work with each other. So
Yes, it is.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.